I, you're on mute.
Sorry, that'll be edited. Okay, so let's start from the top.
Okay.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Kimberly Cloud Show. I am your host, Kimberly Cloud. So today we have a very special guest who is going to talk as a LMFT. I guess that's a licensed marriage family therapist. And
Yeah.
before we get started, what I wanted to do was I wanted to get a, a small bio on who you are, and then we'll dig into the questions. So go ahead, TJ.
So I am. My real name is, I go by Sahebjit Singh, but people call me TJ. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist. The thing about me is I focus as a depth-oriented therapist, meaning that I tend to focus more on core beliefs, really core issues, really complex trauma that keeps people very stuck in patterns and repeat like past actions, are stuck in like miserable ways of living that keeps them like, not being able to move forward in life. So that's what I would say is my focus.
The last time you were on the show, you spoke about your experience with PD and the use of 5150s. Would you say that these experiences affected your ability to work with cops or as clients, or even how you see law enforcement?
But I would say no. It's funny because there's this idea that because of my experience with individual officers or my experience with like law enforcement around 5150s maybe makes me see mental health or people that like officers or cops as individually like not getting it together or not knowing what they're doing. No, I see it more as a system issue. I mean, these officers, they came into law enforcement to protect and serve, not to deal with like mental health crises. It is a part of their job, yes, but they're not getting the accurate training that is needed to understand, hey, this person's having a mental health crisis. This is what your approach should be. This is what you should be looking for and everything. Oftentimes we give them like a book or like a quick an hour long training and said, there you go out there, go deal with the mental health stuff and all this stuff. Officers themselves, they have their own trauma. There's vicarious trauma. You're experiencing like these distressing situations, and then you also got to take care of yourself, but no one ever taught you how to take care of yourself. But then you also have to think about mental health stuff. There's so much going on. No, of course not. When I have had law enforcement as clients, and I still see them as same because who they are inside the room, inside that therapy space, is not just the role they take on, the work mode, it's who they are as a person. How are they affected in their personal life? People are not always the same person they are at work. Why would officers be any different? Like, I'm outside of being a therapist, I'm just a regular dude living like hanging out with my cats, my partner, doing things that anyone else would be doing. You got to remember that these people are still humans, but they've been given a power, a position, and sometimes they're never told how to manage and navigate that kind of power dynamics. Even as a therapist, like we have a power dynamic. You are paying me to help you and see you in your most vulnerable, raw side. That gives me a sense of power. I have to be aware of that. I have to make sure there are professional boundaries in place so that power never gets used against you or manipulate or try to get. I've had clients tell me that therapists financially like took money from them. Like, it's horrible. That's why you have to be self-aware. That's what officers are never given the training of is, hey, when people see the row, when they see the badge, they're going to have this idea of you in their head, and you need to be understanding of that you have a sense of power. That's like what I've seen within law enforcement So for me, like, do I have a problem with the system? Yeah, the system got issues. Do I have a problem with the officers individually? No. A lot of them are good people. They're just given a lot of things, and it's like, hey, you're a young child. Let me give you a giant bat, but I'm not going to tell you how to use the bat, but go crazy. Like, it doesn't work. That's what I would say. It changed my view of how law enforcement system is handled more than anything else. I mean,
Over
oh,
over
sorry,
the go
go
ahead
ahead.
after you.
Kimberly, I wanted to know from your experience, like with law enforcement or what people have told you, like what has it been like for you? Would you see that like the individual officers are not bad, or is it more like the system, the actual department itself, and how it's run causes more of the issues?
I've been over the world and I've seen military police. I've been engaged with military police. I've been engaged with a lot of police, but nothing stands more corrupt than the police in California. Even though they looked out for me, 10 officers had guns pointed out to a man holding a knife and broke open uh, a random person door and then ran into a woman with 5 children house that had a gun. I've had instances with the cops, but the corruption lies in the California police because it's more politics and pressure than
Mm,
any other state. California is one of the 5 biggest states, so it's like, it's a lot of corruption, and I don't blame it on any race. I just blame it on the politics as in a general, because you got Gavin Newsom that could, reprogram or redo the structure of the police system, work and cooperate with the chief of LA police. And he doesn't. Instead, he complains and complains and complains and says, this is, your state to do whatever you want. And so then we have people breaking the laws. But I've came in
mm.
contact with at least 50 or more officers in my life, and I haven't had no problems.
That makes sense. That's like the biggest thing. And I agree with you. There's a level of corruption within these systems. And everybody talks about, that's the thing about politicians is that they love to talk. It's so much easy to rile emotions if I just say the right things. It's like, oh, oh, criminals are bad. Oh, we're gonna take them away. We're gonna make you. It's like, yeah, okay. How are you gonna do it though? What's your step-by-step plan? Like, you got to give me a whole plan and not just make me sound all this great stuff. But that's what they do. They're trying to get you to engage emotionally so you can put logic out the window. Logic says, I need a step-by-step. Emotion said, I just want to feel heard. And that's like the biggest thing is, when you say about, like, in California and having 50 guys, or like, was it 10 officers with one dude who had a knife? How does that like, think about that. There was this experience I had working where there was a person having a psychosis, and it was one of the county jobs I had. And one thing when you put them on a 5150 is you have to call non-emergency number to get an ambulance to come by to drop them off to the hospital. Well, the ambulance person thought I meant to call everybody, like it was an emergency, not a non-emergency. And so here comes firefighters, officers, for this one dude who's having a psychotic break. And the chief, was it the fire chief? And I'm like, no, you guys, this is too much. You guys got to leave. I just need an ambulance. The fire chief gets in my face and goes, this person is having a breakdown. You don't understand that we need to do this, this, and this with him. No, you don't. You're kind of freaking them out right now, don't you? Think about that. You're dudes and officers. You're 5 guys surrounding this guy, and he's paranoid. He's not even in the right state of mind.
Do you think we should like tranquilize them like a bear or something instead of shoot them, because
No,
they're
no.
agitated?
So here's the thing. When it comes to a lot of people are acting out of fear, out of worry, out of their own safety. You have to come in and present yourself as a person of safety, of support. I'm not like, if someone is scared, if someone is freaked out, of course, yeah, If you put like a trapped animal in the side of a corner, it's gonna bite you because it's scared. It doesn't want to get hurt. I'm saying these people are needing support. If you go slowly, talk them down, spend some time. It's like what I told you last time. It's like that little kid who was suicidal. I spent 2 hours with him. Did I have to? No. I could have just said 30 minutes. Nope, you're going to the hospital. Taking the
That's
time
true.
and effort to really slow down and say, hey, I'm not, I have nothing on me. Tell me what's going on. Let me just be there, be a good presence right now. Let me be that person that says things can be okay, because they're freaked out. They don't, when you're going through a psychotic break, you are not connected to reality, and that's scary. Your world doesn't make sense. So here comes 5 dudes with like badges and all this stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna react too. We forget that humans are also animals as well, and never a cornered animal is gonna bite you back. So consider that. Like, people need to slow down. Don't tranquilize them, don't shoot them. That should be like the last needed option, and it should be the last of the last of the last. If anything, tranquilize is the last of the last. But the biggest thing is, you first want to come in. Can I talk to you? Can I be that support and show you that I'm just here to help you get the help you need so you can do better? That's what I would say.
Well said. Can you talk someone down, or have you ever talked someone down to the point? I know you have. So has it ever been difficult to talk someone down?
I feel like if I really look at my experiences in my career, yeah, there are consistent times it's hard to talk someone down. There's been this moment I remember when I was working in like those crisis facilities, is that when you're deeply stuck in that negative emotion, when it feels like the answer is screw it, I'm just gonna kill myself. That's it. I don't know what to do with my life. I just want to end everything. It overpowers everything else. So here's this person come, this stranger, and he's telling you, hey, keep living, keep doing great, like things will get better. Yeah, everybody says that. What evidence you have? You want to help this person like slow through the emotions. Has it been difficult? Does it sometimes I can't get through? Yes. I'm human. I can do my best to slow down and really support someone. But when those emotions and those experiences overtake you, nothing anyone says was going to help. Sometimes you really do. I have to make the final call, no matter how badly I want to push, no matter how badly I want to stay 2, 3, 4 hours with this person. I just can't. So there have been difficult times. There have been clients who I couldn't talk down the ledge, and I had to make a say. And those clients, they stay with me. It tells me I need to get better at this. I need to improve. I need to get better and find better ways to really support people out there. That's been my experience.
And I just got a message from TikTok. What we're saying is too explicit for them.
Yeah.
They basically restricted me. So, on another level, you speak about radical compassion as being the center of your style and approach. What can you speak more to what compassion you bring within your work that makes it radical, and what makes this style unique?
Hmm. So, what is the definition of compassion? Compassion is the caringness for the suffering of others, seeing people in pain and wanting to do something about it out of empathy, out of kindness, out of, hey, we all struggle. If I start doing better, I don't want other people to struggle like me. When I work with teenagers or kids, like, I see a part of myself. I see myself when I was that age, dealing with, family who isn't giving me the support I need, or an abusive household where, I never feel safe. We all live those experiences. They stay with us. When I look at radical compassion, it's that compassion saying, I see the suffering in you, and I don't want you to keep going through this. However, the radical part is, and I'm going to be honest with what I'm seeing. I would love to validate you and tell you that you're doing everything right and that you don't need to change anything, but that's not true. Part of my therapy, part of radical compassion is you have to take accountability for yourself. You have to be able to really sit with yourself and say, where did I mess up? Where did I do wrong? And what am I telling myself that isn't true anymore? People like to live their own like subjective experiences. I live in this bubble. This bubble is safe. If I go outside the bubble, it could be scary. I don't know what's outside this bubble. So I'm going to say it's not my fault. It's everybody else's fault. That's easier. That's comfortable because then I don't have to take blame. I can feel safe. I can keep validating this like negative behavior. Radical is, hey, you got to stop doing that. That's not helping you. It's me putting intensity into the room, really saying to yourself, I hear you. Makes sense. The world and the situations you've had did influence you a lot. And guess what? You're an adult. Now you're responsible for yourself. This is one of my favorite quotes has always been, the childhood trauma that you have experienced is not your fault. But the healing, that's your responsibility now. It's unfair and it sucks. It is unfair. So I got born into this life and now I have to deal with this stuff and no one else has to take the responsibility. Yeah, kind of. That's what life is. A lot of unfair situations and unfair things and trying to juggle. Adults are what? Just children in bigger bodies, still trying to figure out the world. And I tell them, hey, it's okay. You're not alone. I'm still trying to figure my life out. And that's the approach I bring is I'm going through my own suffering. Let me support you in yours.
Well said. Can I ask you, do you know what SWOT is?
No, can you tell me more?
Okay, so I want you to explain your strengths, your weakness, your opportunities, and your threats. How do you feel your SWOT is right now? Your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, and how do you write that down, or how do you categorize it so that you can be a better licensed marriage family therapist to your clients?
What I think my biggest strength, and I feel like I get this question a lot, is like, what's your strength and weaknesses? What are the areas you need to improve, and what are you good at? Mm-hmm. It's funny. Sometimes I think that even my strengths are areas of improvement. I can always improve my strengths. I can always improve the areas that I need to improve. But when I look at my strengths, I would say it's my ability to connect. I grew up in an environment that never let me form my self-identity. My mom wasn't the best at she would criticize a lot of paintings I have or posters or characters. If she said something, I throw it in the trash. It was that there was a sense of guilt or shame tied to that criticism. And so I never really got to form much of an identity based on just being human. And that's kind of what I bring into that kind of room, is that human to human experience. I have worked with conservatives, liberals. I have worked with people of the African American community, people of the Asian community, people that don't look like me, because that was my lived experience. I was often the only Indian kid. So I had to get used to other people's worlds. I had to learn about them. So when someone sits in my therapy space with me, my question is two. What makes this person unique? And what is shared between us? What is our shared experience? There's this idea that we have to think about the differences, because looking at the differences will keep us safer. Yeah. And it also can cause disconnection. I look at, okay, we're both human. That's my first thing. That's the automatic connection right there. So if I have felt these experiences or these emotions, so has this person. They have felt guilt, shame, and anger. I don't care about their beliefs right now. I just want to know what connects us. Oh, you're a guy. You've had bad relationships. Dude, tell me about it. Oh, you're going through these, your mom was really hurtful and said mean things. Tell me about it. Oh, you didn't go, you wanted a first class trip somewhere, but you got a third class. Tell me about it. It's small things. You just learned that this is just another person trying to live. And that's what you start with. That's what I would say is my strength, is that relational connection. Where I need to grow is sometimes my passion and my drive to help overtakes my, hey, TJ, slow down. This person, like, I see this change in people. I see this potential in people, and I just want to badly get it out there, but not everybody's ready for that. And I have to sometimes, like, I want to be the best at what I do. I want to be a therapist like no others. Like, funny thing about therapy, we are called practitioners of the healing arts. Like, it's healing arts. So it's an art form for me. And so being that person, I want to keep growing my craft, keep growing and being able to slow down, being able to really be present. I want to be able to talk to anybody. They sit in this room, tell me about your life, because people are afraid to share things about them. They're like, oh, what if no one can handle me? No one can handle this pain I have. You sit in my room, you talk to me, and you tell me everything. My first question is, tell me more. That's, I always say, is tell me more, because I want to hear everything. Tell me your perspective. Tell me your inner world. Tell me how you see existence itself. What is your reality like? Because I don't know. I can give you my assumptions, but I don't know. But it's easy as a human to overtake, to want to be understood before understanding. And I always have to check myself on that. So that's an area where I need to grow is, okay, this is not about me. As much as I want to say something, as much as I want to open up, I gotta just shut up.
Go ahead. Go ahead. What
Just,
is your
that's what,
threats?
that I would say my threats often are, how would you define threats?
Like whatever situation, like for instance, I would give you a suggestion. I think that I know you are a great therapist. Only thing, um, your walls, break them down a little easier. I think based on your heritage or your culture, it's hard to break down your walls. So your threats would probably be breaking down your walls. That's the only thing I see. Other than that, I see you
No,
as inspiring, like doctor or something. You're doing something where you're going to make a career out of this thing. This thing you're going to study ins and out. People have computers. We don't study computers, all of the fully functional computers. You study what you do, and that's what makes you special. So your threats.
I think my biggest threat is often, sometimes it's hard to work in a field. Like, a lot of fields are often affected by the systems that create them. It's because corruption, because people want certain things. I really view what I do as very sacred. Like, you're opening your deepest stuff with me, and that's hard nowadays. I think for me, it's so easy to get lost and overexert myself. One thing I teach my clients is like, hey, you only have 100% of you, and if you're giving it out, how much do you have left for yourself? Sometimes my passion, overtakes me and become too much work me, instead of allowing myself to be personal me. There's times where I'm in this office day and night because I work crazy hours because I want to be available for people. And so I need to always remember, hey, TJ, don't forget about yourself. My biggest threat sometimes is myself, my passion, my drive. And I always have to be self-aware of that, that as much as I want to be this special person for everybody, as much as I want to be this savior, that's my world. I'm not. I'm just another person trying to live. I'm not a savior. I'm not this, oh, I'm the therapist that's going to change. No, I'm just a human, man, and I'm tired. And honestly, I miss my bed. That's what I would say.
Wow, I think that if you want to categorize yourself as a savior, I think that you could be a savior. If you're saving people and you're talking them down, that's a day in their lives that they're not thinking about, for even if for 5 minutes, about killing themselves or, breaking the law, So I congratulate you on that. But
So it's
huh?
just, last thing I would say to that is, I think my past self, like when you talk about threats, like what are you working towards? My past self, maybe 5 years ago, would have been like, yeah, I love the idea of being a savior. Now, No, I don't want to be a savior. That's not, I'm just a person. I'm just someone who has went through my own experiences, and I'm using what I have been through, the lessons I've gained, the experiences and what they have taught me about the world and my like clinical knowledge to help someone overcome. But at the end of the day, when my last client is done, I'm still just like anyone else. Like, I don't want to be the save. Don't think of me as a savior. That's like people that have those complexes overwork, overdo, overdoes everything, and they burn themselves out before they can really help anybody. I'm human. I am like you. I'm tired. The world scares me. My traumas affect me. I don't know. I don't know who I will be tomorrow. Uncertainty is scary. And that's okay, because we have each other to say, hey, I hear you. I'm scared too. This is a lot. That's what I bring in, is when the client's going through that deep emotional pain and they like, this feels very lonely. I'm like, tell me about it. This is a lot, because you're not going to go through it alone. As much as it feels alone, I'm in that room with you. You will get through it.
Okay. And there are many people in different communities that are still stigmatize therapy as something negative. So there are men that see it as a weakness to open up to strangers or express emotions. What do you tell them about what therapy is? What do you suppose to get if you're vulnerable? Why can't they do it themselves or use AI? That's good. Well said.
So it's interesting. I come from Indian culture, mental health, therapy. That's not a thing. When I told my, it's like, this is a joke. It's like when I told my mom I wanted to be a therapist, it's like I was coming out of the closet. Mom, I have to tell you this. I don't want to be a software engineer. I know I'm Indian. I know that's our goal, but no, I'm okay. We have enough of them. I want to be a therapist. And she was like, how could you disrespect me so much? It's like, it's because parents, mental health itself is not something that's easy. It's not easy to talk about our deepest secrets, something that we're really ashamed of. So to talk to some random stranger, that doesn't make sense. Oh, I'm going to tell the deep wounds, the family drama, the conflict that has stirred in my family for so long after being told growing up to always suppress your emotions to this random dude. Are you out of your mind? Like, it doesn't make sense. So what I tell people, and I've told a lot of people, is think of therapy like Play-Doh. It's a space where you can work on what's important to you. No one's asking you to go to your deepest, darkest areas. Different therapists have different styles and vibes. My style and vibe may not be for everybody. My, like, somebody else who's a lot more easygoing or softer might be better. Therapy is what you want it to be. What mental health, like, do you want to work on just depression? That's cool. We can do that. Do you want just skills? That's also cool. Cool. Once you find that therapist that just bonds with you, gets you, you can work on anything you want, because it's the relational experience. Because when you're a child, what's the most important thing you experience? One of the most important things is your relationship with others. Your caregivers is your one of your biggest relationships. And if you are hurt by them, that fractures your understanding of how relationships work. People become scary. Opening up becomes a lot. For a lot of people, vulnerability is a weakness because that's what is taught to us. It's nobody's fault, but we pass a pattern on. Hey, the world is scary. I'm going to make sure you understand that. Hey, people are scary. I'm going to make sure that gets passed on. Therapy is, what is something I still need to work on and still do to deal with? Here's the space. Make it yours. Tell the therapist what's going on, what you really want to work on. Go slow. It's your therapy, ain't my therapy. It's your work. That's what I tell people. What do you want to work on? What's important to you? Because when you try to like get into therapy, it's like, well, I shouldn't talk to people about my problems. No, the best thing about therapy, confidentiality. It's private. And there's 3 golden rules. If you're going to kill yourself, with a plan, with a means, with an intent. If you're going to hurt somebody else, with a plan, a means, an intent. Or if you're abusing children or dependent adults who have disabilities or elders. Other than that, unless like it's a judge, you can say whatever you want, but you have to be real with yourself. You have to be honest with yourself in that room. That's the important thing. What do you care about that's hurting you? What and how can I help you get where you want to go? But you have to be willing to understand that that's the fear and like stigmatizing comes from not understanding something. So try it out. I always tell people go for like 2 to 3 sessions. If it ain't vibing, bounce. No one's gonna be like, you're not hurting anybody by trying someone now or trying something new. That's how we got to this society today, or the world today. Is we face uncertainty, said let's be curious, let's be empathetic to what we don't understand, because that's how we get innovation. Society, civilizations is curiosity to know and understand. So for communities that still worry about it, give it a shot. If it's not for you, it's not for you. You tried it, you can say you're proud that you tried it. That's all I ask, is therapy can be what you need it to be. And what you're supposed to get, you're supposed to get this feeling of like relief, that someone hears you, someone sees you, and that you're not alone in this, and that you can heal. The wounds that carry us bleed us into our lives, and we wonder why we're stuck in these negative patterns. This is a space to figure that out. And if you want, really deal with those uncomfortabilities, because when you leave, that vulnerability that you're afraid of becomes a strength. It helps you connect. I'm real. I'm authentic. I'm a little too vulnerable at times. But the biggest thing is, it helps me connect with people. See, I'm not scary. I'm just like you, trying to survive. That's what I would say.
Okay. I read through what you said, or I listened to what you said, and you said a lot throughout what you said, that you're a lot of fears, a lot of curiosities, and fear of people or scared of people, and that you're real and authentic. So tell me, why do people fear other people? What answers have you gotten from your clients that talked about why they fear people or the unknown?
I think from my experience working, I've seen a pattern of, let me ask you this, Kimberly. In your eyes, what is the primal, like the deepest fear within people? What is the number one, like in your eyes, what is the number one fear people have everywhere?
Rejection.
That's a good one. That's actually is a really good one. I'm going to throw something out there. I'm going to say the primal fear is the fear of uncertainty.
True.
If I don't know something, it could hurt me. If I don't know something, it could do something bad to me. Like, imagine you're a kid, right? And, your mom says to you, like, if you keep doing that, something bad's going to happen, right? Think about that for a second. Something bad is going to happen. That's really vague. So what does your brain do? It's going to fill in the blanks for you and tell you, oh, that bad thing is the worst thing you always hated. It's this thing, it's this thing. It's uncertain what that bad thing is, but all you know, it's bad. So your brain's going to give you 100 million possibilities of what that bad is, and that sticks in you. So now you're always running your life, worry about this bad thing happening, but you don't even know what it is. Just that whatever your brain tells you could be it, but you're not 100% sure. That fear of uncertainty keeps us stuck. Every client I have met where we are finally getting to the point of really healing stops and goes, what's on the other side? If I let go of who I am, if I let go of the person I built to keep me safe, who's on the other side? And I always say, I don't know either. I can't promise you what's like, or guarantee you'll be 100% better, or you'll be this. I don't even know, because I'm here with you in the present. However, you have to meet that uncertainty with curiosity and empathy for yourself. It's scary, yes, but it also could be something good. If anything is possible on the other side, why do we always have to say it's a bad thing that's going to be possible? Why couldn't it be the good thing? Hey, You go to this other side, something good could happen. Don't you want to find out? Aren't you curious what it could be? Because you faced so many things in your past. You are a survivor. You got through this. So what says you won't survive the other side? And when clients finally get to that, they look back. It's like when we say, I wish I knew I was in the good times before they were gone. When you're doing great, you're not gonna notice you're doing great. But when you're doing bad, you're gonna definitely notice when you're doing bad. On the other side is you just living your life authentically, and no matter what good or bad comes, you accept it wholeheartedly. That's a possibility. To get there, though, you got to sit in the fire and really work on yourself. So is it scary? Yes. But I'm here with you. I'm scared too. Let's go find out. Let's be curious. Let's be empathetic. Let's discover or rediscover what's on the other side. But you have to be willing to take the plunge, if that makes sense.
That's a very noble thing to carry them to the other side together through weeks of training. So my next question would be, give me just a second, because I want to get all your questions. You said in your profile that you take on high conflict couples. In your experience, are there patterns you notice among your couple clients? Are there techniques you would be willing to share for those dealing with problems in their relationships? How is your work with couples different from your work with individuals?
Okay. So when I say I work with couples with high conflict, oftentimes these couples there is consistent miscommunication. The fighting becomes more daily and more regular than the good times. That's what high conflict is where the moment you see this person, your brain goes into defensive mode. Mm-hmm. Like if they come to talk to you about something, your brain's ready to okay, we're preparing for battle right now. Let's get ready for battle. That tells you how you see this person, how your body reacts to this person is in defensive mode. Oftentimes, the biggest pattern I see is often a duality between partners. There's this yin and yang feel to them where I have a couple clients. One over feels, the other one doesn't feel enough. Mm-hmm. It's you'll see these patterns where people are seeking what they need or don't have in somebody else. I feel too much. Here's someone that doesn't feel as much, so maybe I can learn from them how not to feel so much. Or I don't feel my emotions a lot. Here's someone who's highly emotional. Maybe I can get them from that. People often date what they're missing from themselves. It's like my partner. She's very more structured. She's very go with the flow. She's very if I tell her something, she expects it to happen. I'm chaos. I'm novelty, spontaneity, and everything on paper. I mean, she's a physical therapist. I'm a mental therapist. The duality's crazy, girl. But on paper, it shouldn't work. But it does, because we have healthy communication. We talk to each other and not see each other as attacking each other. If we have an argument, she's not attacking me, but she's providing me her point of view. One thing I see, and the biggest pattern I see, is this need to be understood first. That big piece right there, first, that's a roadblock. Okay, if I get in an argument, I need to be understood first. I need to get my point across first. I need you to get me first. Yeah, but that's what they're also thinking too. If you both want to go first or be understood first, then who's going to go first? It's who's going to be the bigger person, essentially.
Take a step back, right?
Yes. So this is a technique I tell people is you have to be willing to understand before you be understood. Mm-hmm. One of the biggest techniques is around communication. I say a lot of things. It doesn't mean the interpretation, how the person's taking it, is going to be the same. So if I tell you, Kimberly, let's play a game, but your definition in your head is competition. But my definition of game is casual fun. Are we really playing the same game?
Nope.
No. but you heard the word game. That's what you heard. Doesn't mean that's what your brain told you that's what's being said. An example is I had a couple I was working with where the wife recommended, hey, the refrigerator door is broken. Should we get somebody to like repair it? The husband goes, what? Why do we need to do that? You don't think I can handle it? Like I can do this. I fix this here. I fix this. I fix this. Why do we need to hire someone? Like he got upset. And I asked him, what did you hear? She said I couldn't. No. What did you hear? Not what she said. What she said was, should we get someone to fix the refrigerator door? What did you hear? That I'm not good enough.
Well said. Yeah.
That makes more sense. That feeling not good enough caused an emotional reaction. But that's not what she was saying. Wasn't saying that you weren't good enough. She was just giving you a suggestion. One best way to approach someone, and if let's say you have a friend venting to you, hey, that sounds like a lot. What do you need right now? Support? As in you just want to vent and just need someone to be a presence and go, that sucks? Or do you need suggestions? So ideas to how to deal with the problem. The moment you figure out these two avenues, you know what the person needs and you can put yourself in that. I never tell people I give advice. I don't give advice because I don't like being told what to do. Why would anyone else like being told what to do? Advice has this negative feeling to it. Let me tell you how to live your life. No, don't tell me anything. Who are you? You ain't me. That's why I say suggestions. Here's some recommendations. You don't have to do it. It's your life. You do whatever you want. But these could help if you try them out. That's what I really focus on is this idea of suggestions over advice, telling someone what to do, but more providing another perspective. When you come to therapy with me, you're getting perspective, you're getting suggestions, you're getting support. But I'm not going to tell you what to do with your life. I am responsible for that one. But I will help you where I can be. Start with this. Remember, when you are in a conflict, ask yourself this. I'm hearing this, or they're saying this, but is that what I'm hearing? What am I hearing inside right now? When they say this, it makes me feel like I'm being attacked because it's telling me something bad about myself. But is that really what they're saying? Or are they really trying to just get their point across? You have to be willing to take that step back and say, what am I not understanding? As much as sometimes it irritates me, my partner will tell me what I do and my patterns are. And yeah, it's annoying and makes me go, but I thank her every time. Wait, what? I get defensive over my job? I didn't know that. That makes sense why so when I say this to you, that's why like when we argue, I stay really calm, but my words are like daggers. I thought I was calm this entire time. I thought I was always doing great. No, TJ, you're a jerk. You're a jerk when you argue because your words are really, you know that. Now I'm cognizant and I'll be aware of that. She wasn't trying to attack me. She was just trying to help me like see a different perspective. That's what makes couple work. Openness and empathy. What maybe you don't know about yourself you want to know. But if everybody's coming to attack you, it doesn't work. So that's what I'm saying. It's not about what they said. It's about what did you hear. Another good technique is if you have trouble connecting with emotions, start with simple. When you want to figure out what's going on for you or what you need, sit with yourself. What's the situation? My partner yelled at me. What was the sensation in your body? I felt this like tightness in my chest. What does that tightness say to you? What emotion would you connect it to? I would say it feels like a frustration. Like she got mad at me, raised her voice, and I felt frustrated. What do you need? I need an apology. Boom. You connect all these things together to get a whole picture of what's going on. Another big thing of apologizing or telling your partner what you need is this situation, the emotion you experienced, and here's the important thing, needs come in two. What do you need immediately? I need an apology. What do you need moving forward? Like what's a consistent need for you to not yell at me moving forward? Do you see what I'm doing? It's both. It's hey, I need this in this moment. I need you to apologize and make me feel like you understand where I'm coming from. And two, I need you to change that behavior consistently, because couples often get in fights. Then they'll be like, we're going to work on it. We're going to change. And then it starts again. It's a cycle to
But
break this.
isn't there like triggers that make it relapse, make your relationship go through a relapse period?
Yeah. It's because here's the thing about relationships. It's there's consistency and commitment. If I'm going to tell you I'm going to work on something, yes, my life is going to get busy. Yes, I got to do this and all this. But I also got to prioritize the relationship, meaning sitting with myself and actually practicing the skills.
Yeah.
It's like, I get so many clients that often tell me, TJ, I'm not getting better. Are you practicing the skills? No, but I'm not getting better. Then how are you going to get better? It's repetition of those skills. Good habits takes time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Therapy is not fast food, people. It's going to take time. Like, you think I enjoy practicing the skills every day and journaling? No, I hate journaling. I still do it because I got to process those emotions. It's like there's a meme where there's like an angry penguin who's putting arts and crafts, but he's like annoyed that he has to do this. That's how I feel about doing my own therapy work. It's annoying. I don't like going to a therapist, but I do it because I gotta heal. You think I like journaling and worksheets? No, but I gotta do it. It's annoying, it's boring, but you gotta do it over and over and over until your brain picks it up. The next time you're in that moment, in that conflict, it'll just come out of you. You'll become more self-aware of it. That's kind of what I'm saying. And so that's what I tell people is self-awareness and working on those skills over time will create change. But if you just try it once and then it didn't work, no, duh. You did it once. Do it 20 times and then come back to me. That's what I would say.
Out of all the people, what have you grown and learned from all the people you have interviewed? Or not interviewed, but actually did a session. Let's just call it psychology session with.
I I became a therapist when I was young because I didn't really understand how to like live in America. I was from a different culture and it feels like nobody kind of thought like me or, understood the world like me. So I felt like an alien. I felt like I was just an alien, both metaphorically and literally. And eventually I became an American citizen. And as I pursued therapy, it was to learn how to be more human. People showed me that I don't need to be more human. People's experiences that are very similar to mine taught me that I am human. It's hard to believe it, but you start to connect with people. You see people of all different sizes, shapes, colors, whatever. And you realize the stories there's patterns to the stories, but each story is so unique. There's so many little changes. It's like reading a book that's like choose your own adventure. Everybody chooses different adventures. Everybody chooses different things. And I get to find out the choices they made. The book may be same, but the person who's living that book makes different choices. The wounds are same, but how they deal with it, the interpretation, the actions are so unique. I really got to learn about the potential and power of humanity, of the strengths and the struggles and the resilience within us all. And it sucks that trauma and pain suffocate that, bury it underneath to say that no, the world sucks and existence is horrible. It's no, conflict sucks, but you have to face conflict. You have to sit in it and go, this is uncomfortable and I hate it. And go, okay, is it done and over with yet? Because once you do that, you can face anything. You have to be willing to sit in that argument, in that thing, and say, this is uncomfortable for me. I'm going to voice it and I'm going to get through it. We avoid conflict. We avoid problems because it's easy. Look, I like it easy too. I mean, sometimes I want to go to McDonald's. However, that's not going to make you grow and change. Conflict is what makes us grow and change. Struggle doesn't always have to be a bad thing. Struggle reminds us, hey, I can get through anything because I've been through that and I'm still here. I've been through that and I'm still here. There have been moments in my life where I should have died because of others, but I'm still here. There's been sessions I had where I wanted to quit, but I'm still here. There's been moments where growing up, you kind of start thinking, maybe this life is not meant for me, but I'm still here. It's easy to quit. That's why I hate it. What's worth having in life doesn't come easy. And that sucks. And you still got to do it. That's what I tell people. It sucks. I'm sorry. I'm sorry your parents were like this. I'm sorry that these was your experiences. I'm sorry that these things happen. What you got to do about it, though? Like, you either learn to accept it and just keep being that person, or you overcome it by facing it and saying, I'm going to face the fire. I'm going to stop running away. I'm going to start running towards it because I want to take the fire out. It's hard. You're going to get burned, but you will leave stronger and more resilient than you ever have. That's what I would say.
I would like to end with this last question of part one. You said there's conflict that we must go through. I say that however, there's healthy conflict and there's non-healthy conflict. Can you
Yes.
tell and educate the people on the non-healthy conflict and the signs to look for?
So when you look at unhealthy conflict, and I completely agree with you, Kimberly. When I say, you got to deal with, there's healthy forms of conflict and unhealthy. Unhealthy being yelling and screaming, you're throwing things, you're not really hearing each other. It's all emotional, like two tornadoes trying to bash into each other. It's chaos. It's wild. That's not going to resolve anything. Unhealthy conflict, it's where you're lost in your emotion, where you stop seeing the person you love and you just start seeing someone who has hurt you in the past. That's unhealthy. I've worked with couples where their own individual traumas created an impasse. You couldn't get any further in couples because they haven't dealt with these wounds that will show up in their relationship. If I never had someone to show me like love and attention, or people that have abandoned me, my relationship, I'm going to worry about that. Our baggage from the past and past relationships follow us. You have to be aware of it. That's what I'm saying. Unhealthy, it's those issues taking over and saying, I'm going to start hurting this person. That's not going to help anything. Healthy is being able to recognize, okay, this conversation is getting me emotionally heightened. Like I used to be at like a 3, now I'm at like a 7. I need to pause. Say that, make a safety word. When we say pause, no matter where we are, we leave each other alone. Go on a walk, get out of the house, 15 to 30 minutes. Then check in with yourself. Am I in a good emotional place yet? Do I feel like I can have an honest to God conversation, or is those emotions going to rile me up? Then you say, hey, I'm sorry. I wanted to talk in 30 minutes. However, my emotions are still kind of heightened. Can you give me about an hour and then check in with me? You want to get the conversation done because people shelve their problems instead of really resolving them. You want to talk it through within a day or so, but like take the time you need, but let the other person know. Direct communication. Because you have people who are anxious. I want to solve this now. Oh my God, what if you like leave me? So I need to solve this right now. Hey, I hear you. That's a scary fear. And I'm not going to go anywhere. I'm just going to sit in the office or in my bed, and I'm just going to, just be with myself for a bit. I'm not leaving you, but I need to deal with my own emotions right now after this. You're letting them know, you're opening up. That's also vulnerability a little bit. When you're showing healthy conflict, is when you're able to recognize, you talk it through, you'll have disagreements. But the moment you allow your emotions or you allow that trauma or the wounds to take over and say, this person's attacking me and I need to attack back, you're gone to unhealthy. It ain't going to work. That's what I would say.
And if we have 3 more minutes, so one last question, real quick. So the character of unhealthy and healthy relationships, and bringing unhealthy relationships to the forefront by can unhealthy relationships cause other unhealthy behaviors within the relationship, and how?
I'm gonna end with something of a lived experience I had to give you an example of how unhealthy relationships can, really affect us. I was in a relationship where it it was a trauma bond. We were individuals who were deeply trauma, had our own traumas, and we bonded over it. And over time, that became a codependent relationship. I saw myself, someone who's like, seems fun, happy. People at work will be like, oh, TJ would never do anything horrible. I got into fights because we were so miserable with each other. We were so angry at each other, but we were also codependent on each other. It's like, I hate you, don't leave me kind of feel to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And over time, that's the thing about like couples when unhealthy, escalation. If that issue doesn't get resolved, it gets worse. And that's what happened. I saw myself become a monster. I saw myself live through fear, anxiety, and anger because we never resolved our fights. I saw myself wake up every morning ready for battle instead of turning over and being happy with the person I'm next to. It shapes your lens of the world. It shapes your lens of others. You're like trapped, and the worst part is, you're trapped, but it's comfortable. And then that's what therapy is like too. I got to get you uncomfortable because things that are easy will keep you trapped and comfortable. To get out of them, it's going to be uncomfortable. So I was comfortable. My friends would tell me, TJ, you probably should get out of this relationship. No, we'll make it work. We got this. Yeah, we'll be fine. I'm a therapist. Even I knew what was going on, but I was so blinded by the rose-colored glasses and the codependency and how badly I didn't want to be alone, that I said, I'd rather be miserable together than miserable single. It wasn't until, funny thing, she broke up with me that I had to really look at myself and who I am as a person and what I bring in a relationship. A relationship should never control your world, should never, be the center of it, should complement your world. And I finally found someone who complements each other. But I had to first go through that to get there. That I would answer.
And if you had to say anything to the audience about anything for 30 seconds of how to reach you and what you do and why you do it, and that's how we're going to end. What would you say?
Simple. Look, we were born into this world, and sometimes it feels like we never asked to be born. And it feels like we're struggling alone and we don't know if anybody else exists and that we're the only ones, we're the main characters, we're the heroes. Yeah, you are. And living through struggle and trying to do it alone ain't gonna go. We are biased towards ourselves. There are people who will sit with you, who will listen to you, who will say, tell me more about you. Reach out. Have one session. Try it out and see what it could be. That's what I'm saying. And if you want to reach out to me, my practice is support, spirit, counseling, and therapy. And Kimberly will give you guys the information to reach out to me. I say give it a shot. Face uncertainty with curiosity. Trust me, I don't guarantee anything in life, but I do promise you this. You'll be surprised and pleasantly surprised on what's on the other side. That's it.
Stay on the line, TJ. Thank you so much. That was very well put. Y'all take care, be safe, and I will see you guys another time. Bye.